Welcome back to This Explainer. Today, we're stepping right back into the warm, lantern-lit world of our favorite little guide, RB. We're going to walk through a really beautiful visual guide designed to help you navigate the often daunting IRB process. You know, if you've ever stared at a blinking cursor on an ethics application just feeling completely lost, you are definitely in the right place. So let's let RB light the way. Okay, remember how last time we saw how RB was literally born from the swirling questions researchers face? Well, today, RB's lantern is shining on one massive, central question. What exactly does an institutional review board, an IRB, actually do? It's the exact question every single researcher asks right before hitting submit on that incredibly intimidating application. And let's be honest, we have all been there. When you first encounter the IRB, it honestly feels like a giant, impenetrable wall trying to stop your research right in its tracks. You know the feeling. It's this overwhelming barrier of documentation, supplements, and time-consuming hurdles. It feels like enough paperwork to literally build a fortress, right? And it all seems meant to just block your progress and kill your momentum. It's a completely valid anxiety to have. But here's where RB offers a really gentle yet firm correction. Simply put, no. IRBs are not there to stop research. It's such a simple sentence, but it softly dismantles that massive misconception right away. Because if it's not a wall built to keep you out, then what exactly is its purpose? Well, what's actually super interesting is the clear distinction being made here. The IRB is not sitting around a big table judging how original your idea is or how theoretically refined your topic might be. Honestly, those judgments are for your academic supervisors and peer reviewers. Instead, the IRB is looking exclusively at how your study actually meets people. They just want to know if the interaction you're proposing is safe, respectful, legal, and truly voluntary. And you know, this demands a complete shift in perspective. Your study protocol might center on a specific academic purpose, and your final paper, well, that'll center on your research question. But the IRB centers entirely on the research participant. The participant is literally the sun in the IRB's solar system. Everything revolves around their experience and their safety. So to make absolutely sure that participant is protected, the IRB asks specific questions based on 4 key pillars. Number 1, are participants fully informed about what they're actually getting into? 2, can they refuse to participate without facing any penalty or disadvantage? 3, how are risks and discomforts minimized during the study? And 4, are their personal information and your research data kept completely safe? That is the IRB's ultimate checklist. The absolute crucial point here is understanding the vast difference between your research idea and your implementation plan. See, your research idea asks, what do I want to know? That's your abstract academic curiosity. But your implementation plan, which is the thing the IRB actually cares about, asks, what will I ask human beings to do to satisfy that curiosity? It's a massive shift from abstract theory to practical human reality. Let's look at a practical example. Say your big research idea is studying graduate student stress. Fascinating topic for sure, but your IRB implementation plan needs to answer some very concrete questions about the human experience of that study. Like, how are you going to recruit them without adding pressure? Will the interviews be recorded? Where is that audio stored? Could a direct quote in your paper accidentally reveal someone's identity? The IRB needs the specifics of the interaction, not just the theory. All of this builds into a really powerful reframing of that initial fear we talked about. When you realize the IRB is literally just trying to protect participants, that intimidating wall starts to transform. The IRB isn't just an office that says, don't do it. They're actually asking, hey, how can we do this more safely? They are effectively turning a brick wall into an open, secure door for your research to walk through. Now, to get through that door smoothly, you kind of need to act as your own IRB before you ever hit submit. You need to ask yourself 3 critical checkpoints. 1, whom do I meet or whose information do I use? 2, what exactly are they going to do? And 3, how are their rights and safety protected throughout that entire process? Seriously, lock these 3 simple takeaways into your memory. If you can clearly evaluate whose information you use, what exact experience they're going to have, and how their rights are guarded, you've already done the heavy lifting. You're speaking the IRB's language, checking your own work the exact same way they will. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final, really reassuring thought from RB. The IRB does not exist to extinguish your burning research questions. It's actually a guiding light, illuminating the path so your questions can meet people safely and ethically. Thanks so much for joining me for this breakdown. Make sure to join us next time when we explore the research protocol, not as a pile of paperwork, but as a map. Until then, ask yourself, is your research idea ready to safely meet the real world?